Hey y'all, it's Tasha. I am back with another video. Thank you so much for stopping into my channel. If you have not already, do not forget to hit the subscribe button below before you get out of here. Also, like, share, comment below. Y'all know the drill. Today we are back with a micro lock update. I know I did not do my 6-month update because honestly there wasn't many changes that happened. So here I am at now month 7. Like, I can't even believe it's been 7 months. Like, on the other hand, it feels like, well, on one hand, it feels like it's gone by really quickly. On the other hand, it's like, I feel like this has always been my hair. Like, it's just so crazy how you just get so used to your hair looking a certain way. And it's like, when I look at past pictures of wash and goes and twist outs, it seems so far away that I was doing that. And I'm like, girl, no. That was just earlier this year. Stop playing. But anyway, I came back today with my 7-month update, you guys. So just gonna run through some things really quickly. Still, a whole lot has not changed, but I wanted to come on to give you guys just a quick update, and so you can, of course, see my hair, so you can see how it's going. Again, it's been 7 months. Just a couple days past the 7-month mark, so truly officially 7 months. I just did a retie last week, I think, so still pretty clean with the parts. No new growth started to come in quite yet. But just some things I want to update you guys on. If you cannot already tell, I know this is a braid out. I washed my hair last night and probably put it in about 10 braids or so. Let it dry overnight, take it down in the morning. That's usually my go-to style all the time after I wash. But that's what this is. But if you can't tell from this, the volume of my hair, it is like coming in, and I absolutely love it. And I feel like you can really, I mean, yes, the braid out, but you can really tell, because I feel like early on when I would do a retie, my hair just looked really scalpy. Even with a braid out, it just looked scalpy. It looked a little bit flat. But now, even though I'm still pretty fresh from a retie, it has volume. Like, it's like a twist out on loose hair that you know, pick that and tease that just a little bit, but I haven't had to do that. I just took my braids out this morning, and this is what I was left with my hair, just taking them down and running my fingers through it just to make sure it was all separated. But that's it. So I am loving the volume that I'm getting as my hair matures and grows. Definitely, it's looking a lot fuller, and I love that. Budding, I believe I mentioned this on the last video, which was my 5-month update. The budding has increased a lot. I know I said very early on that I wanted to probably leave my ends curly because I really kind of like the goddess lock look. But of course, the ends are where the budding is starting. So a lot of the ends are budding, and I did not want to continue to kind of pop them off. I still am pretty much undecided on what I want to do long term. So I don't know if I want them to go ahead and bud and then I'll take them back out. I'll guess I'll probably play it by ear, because it's not, especially in the front, there's not a whole lot of buds. So I'm going to play it by ear to see if maybe some in the front or throughout my hair may never completely lock on the ends, and they may still be curly, because I've seen some people, their hair does that. So I'm just going to wait it out and see what happens as it continues to grow. That if some of them naturally stay a little bit looser on the ends, then I'm just going to, you know, leave those and let it rock. And those that want to bud and lock on the ends, I'm going to let that rock too. So just going to play the waiting game for now. And then if that changes, of course, I'll let you guys know. But the budding, a lot is happening in the back. You can really see that's one. That one, not so much. Let me pull another one. But as I'm running my fingers through my hair, I'm able to feel them a lot. There's one. So it really is happening more so in the back. That seems to be a trend when I watch lock videos, that there's a lot of budding and locking happening in the back. And I guess it's because, you know, you leave it alone for the most part. It's just back there being able to do its thing, that it just kind of matures and grows a little bit faster in that rate. But yeah, so lots of budding happening. So I'm starting to feel like I'm almost official in these Locs streets, okay? Next up is I have not experienced any lint. So I'm 7 months in, still don't have any lint on my hair. I always sleep with some type of scarf, bonnet, something on my hair at night. During the day, I just let it do its thing. I also still continue to use these black terry cloth type towels when I'm drying my hair after I washed it. I don't know if this is helping, but it ain't hurting either. So I'm gonna continue to use these. Again, I got these from Amazon. I will link it in this the bottom of the video here if you guys are interested. But of course, since this is black, if it does happen to leave lint on my hair, it's black. But I haven't seen any lint on my hair. So again, I'm not doing really anything special. So I don't know if it's maybe just my hair or if everything that I am doing is preventing the lint, but so far so good. I am still going about 4 weeks between my reties. I think the last time I tried to stretch it to about like close to 5, and that was a bit of a stretch. And again, I think I cannot go as long because of the texture of my hair. It gets so loose, and they just start to want to mingle and marry with each other, and it just makes it that much harder when I'm going in to do a retie, to make sure that I'm keeping the part straight, and I don't want to do too much popping and pulling and all that. So the 4 to 5 week time frame just seems to work really well for me right now. And these reties, as time goes on, it gets so much easier. So if you guys do this yourself, or you're thinking about doing it yourself, those first couple months were a little bit rough, like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But the more I do it myself, the easier it gets. And then I just tend to break it down so that I'm not so overwhelmed to get it done in one day. I will usually, do some in the back first, maybe wait a day or two, do a little bit more up here, maybe wait another day, and then do it here. Because you really can't, unless somebody's really looking at your hair, you really can't tell where your retie has started and stopped. So I'll just, wear a hairstyle that kind of just coincides with where I am. So if I've done the back but not the top, I'll just pull the top up in like a cute little bun and leave the back out. So that is that much easier for me when I go back to finish the retie, that I don't have to separate it again to try to figure out where I stopped and started at the last time. So that works for me. I will also say, with my reties, I know I am doing it every 4 to 5 weeks. Some people may think that's average. Some may think it's a little bit too soon. But truly, when I'm doing a retie, you guys know I do a 3-point rotation with my hair. And when I'm retying, I'm able to do a full 3-point rotation on every lock. And on some locks, I'm able to do a couple more turns, maybe like 2 more turns in the 3-point rotation. So it's not like I just don't like to see the new growth or the puffy roots, because I've actually started to grow to like how full and loose my hair feels when I do need a retie. But I also know I have to kind of be careful, or I'm going to be, just putting myself in trouble when it comes to doing the retie. But so far, so good, y'all. I'm still braiding and banding when I am shampooing my hair. The only time I'm a little bit lazy and I can get away with it is when the retie is fresh. So last week and then my wash this week, I was able to be a little bit more lax with the braiding and banding, because everything is still pretty much so tight and it's not going anywhere. But even then, I still will braid and band like the edges, because some of those still want to slip out. I will braid and band still the back, because some of those smaller ones still like to slip out. So those, I'm pretty consistent on braiding and banding all the time. But when it's kidding, like week 3, week 4, I do make a conscious effort to still braid and band, just so that I can try to keep everything as neat as I can and don't add any additional slippage or anything, since my roots are a little bit more looser. But still doing it. I know I'm still supposed to be doing it, so keep doing it. If you're in the process, keep doing it. I really don't miss my loose hair. I was truly thinking about that the other day, because I saw some pictures come up of some wash and goes that I had earlier this year, and I was like, oh, that is so cute. Like, that wash and go was banging. Oh my God, do I miss it? A little tiny bit, but for the most part, no. I don't miss having to do my hair, because of course, you guys know, being a loose natural, it's like your hair gets dry, your hair just starts looking dusty, you got to refresh, you got to do something different, you got all these products. It's just a lot. And now with being locked, it is just so much easier always having a style. No, it doesn't always look this cute per se all the time, but it's that much easier to throw it in a bun, push it to the back and put a cap on, put a headband on, push it to the front and make it, you know, kind of like a waterfall situation. Like, it's just so much easier to think on the fly about a hairstyle. Not that I necessarily always have to prepare, like, gotta go somewhere Saturday, might need to go ahead and wash my hair Wednesday so that by the time Saturday comes, it looks a little bit old and it's how I like it. Like, you know, I find that I don't have to plan in advance like that. It's like, shoot, I wash my hair once a week, wash it, don't matter what I got to do or where I'm going, it's gonna look good. So I absolutely love that part about having micro locks. So 7 months in, still has been like the best hair decision I have made for my hair. I have zero regrets. I mean, I don't know if I will later on when maybe I truly do miss my loose hair and I want it back. And if that's the case, I'm probably just going to go ahead and big chop. I'll let it grow out some and big chop, because I have actually, I've re-tied a couple, like actually redid the entire lock on maybe 2 locks, because one of them, well, I think both of those, I got like a knot was in the lock for some reason. I don't know how it happened, but it was like a knot that I could feel. So for those 2 locks, I actually went in and undid the entire lock, combing it out, and went ahead and redid it. That process, like I said, I only did it twice, and it took a very long time to comb that out. I had a good bit of shed hair just from I mean, they're not big locks at all. They're tiny locks, but there was a lot of shed hair just from taking that out. So I'm like, I can't even imagine doing this to my entire head. But for now, I don't even have to worry about that, because again, this hair is where it's at. I love this hair. Even my youngest daughter is asking for her hair to look like mine. She's only 6, so I'm gonna wait it out maybe a few more years and see if she changes her mind. If she, you know, says that she wants micro locks too by the time she's like 8, we gonna roll with it, and then the whole house will be locked at that point. So it is gonna be, you know, nice not having to do hair. But that's basically all the updates I have for you guys. Things have been good, no itchy scalp, still just using shampoo, leave-in conditioner, and then an oil to seal that in. Sometimes I will oil the scalp in between, depending on if I'm working out too much and my scalp just gets dry, I will put oil on it then. But other than that, using nothing else. I've even really quit using the rose water, and I just use regular water if I feel like it's getting dry. Spray with the spray bottle, a little bit more oil, and I'm done. So try to really keep this as low maintenance as possible, because that's the goal. You want to have a little bit more hair freedom. So here it is. If y'all have any questions about my hair that I did not answer, please drop it below and I'll be sure to get to those. But I'll go ahead and show you some more pictures of my hair so you can see what the parts and everything look like before I get out of here. one more note. I believe I talked about this in previous videos about my gray hair. I have lots of gray hair and I have been dyeing it just using regular old box hair dye. I've just been dyeing it black because, again, I'm still unsure about using henna. I would love to use it, but don't know how it's going to rinse out, and I'm just not into trying it. I'll let somebody else try it, or maybe watch a video of somebody doing it, see how it works first. But for now, I've just been using regular black dye just to dye my roots, and that's been fine as well. So I know kind of that's looked at a little bit differently. Some people say you should wait until they matured a bit before you dye, but I still go ahead and braid and band, and I mostly just focus on the front here because, I mean, honestly, I can't see the back and it's not as much gray hair from what I can tell in the back as it sits in the front. So I just use a regular old box dye and concentrate more so on the roots, let it sit for like 10 minutes and then rinse it out. So far, I've done it twice, maybe 3 times already. So I'm trying to stretch out as long as I can. So I just did it probably like 3 weeks ago. So I probably won't do it again until probably after Thanksgiving or closer to Christmas time, just so that I'm not doing it too often. But you know, I'm not ready to embrace the grays just yet. But if you are like me, it's been working just fine, just in case you want to go ahead and use it. But again, if y'all have any other questions, drop those below and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.